Hello? Cool. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to episode 14. The camera's over there. If you're performing, you can look at it. It's not super distracting. We're in a different side of the area today, so it's kind of cool. But today is our final open mic of the year, which is kind of neat. Episode 14, Holiday Ghosts, because after today we're all going to be holiday ghosts, of course. So I'm Matthew, CEO, publisher of Brewjeria Co Press. We're excited to be back here. It's been about a month, huh? A little hiatus. We have familiar faces. I don't like saying old faces, so it's familiar faces, friendly faces, people that we are comfortable with. And it's really, it's a really cool day today because it's finals week for some people, or finals week was last week, or it ended, or next week, or it's kind of in between finals and not finals. And I always tell my students that no matter what, at the end of the semester, if you're there on the day of the final, you succeeded, regardless of your grade, because you did something that so many people don't do. And all of us are here today because we succeeded in whatever it was that got us to Friday evening on December 16th. And it's something to be proud of. It's something to carry us forward through whatever ails us, whatever hurts us. For the last 8 months that we've had events here, I was on heart medicine, so I couldn't drink anything, but now I got to drink. So we get a cheers for the first time. So cheers to all of us, all of you, and just making sure. Today is our next episode, with a community MC, because it was a cool way for me to introduce other people, other voices. We all have a voice that deserves to be heard. Doesn't mean that everybody has to like it, but we're able to speak, we're able to use our voices. If we stutter. If we say a lot of uhs and ums, say a lot of uhs and ums. But today is Julia, and Julia, run the show. It's all yours, and have fun.
Hi, everyone. So good to see you on this lovely Friday. So we get to kind of open this up and just kind of enjoy our first day of break, right? I know all the teachers here are kind of drinking it up. I know I myself am a teacher. I'm just excited to have these 2-3 weeks off, and it's good to see some young people in the crowd. So I wanted to kind of start off the day with this poem I wrote called Besides. And it's all about trying to write and just being kind of not sure whether or not I should give my title of being a poet or not. So that's what this is about. If I were a poet, I would write of the other, the one beside the laugh that is hard to comprehend, outside of the context of the uniparticular hyperspace of private conversation, an interchange with a microscopic cube whose walls receive vibrations, perplexed by personal context, symbiotic perturbations, paused, waiting, caught in spatial time, until unpaused, then a flow of fleeting temporary words, thoughts described in responsive actions, only understood by the one in the shared consciousness of the other. But I'm not a poet. I do not have the classical training of expression. I am a mirrored, brown-haired girl sitting at a crepe cafe, typing rapid thoughts, drinking sparkling Californian wine before noontime as people share themselves to the other. I share myself with myself, a liquid state incurred to cure boredom, motivated by the insecurity of being the lone spectator, a social being caught off guard, in need of a brief private interrelation. But I'm stuck in the margins of the story. I'm not in the plot. My place is in the setting, an eclipse extra. I sit here yearning with a supernovic desire to be replaced with the one besides the other, to be the welcome occupant in the place setting on the square table of human thoughts exchange. But instead, I emit displaced glances, thrown onto the unseen strings that void, plank-sized unfoldings between the manifolds of interpersonal circumstance. And though I am not a poet, I write, as to place myself in the coveted position of the narrator, of the exchanges that occur outside of me, as I sit alone beside myself. That was pretty much, thank you guys. That was just a poem of me just writing, just sitting at a cafe and just noticing people kind of just chilling and talking. I'm just thinking, hey, I kind of want to be part of that conversation. So that's what that was about. I'm going to say one more, then I'm going to pass it over to our first poet, Oliver. I believe he's our first one to go. So the next one I'm going to read is a poem that I call My Friend Jason. I wrote this for, obviously, my friend Jason. My friend Jason likes the sea. He likes the serene breeze brushing on his hickory skin, the pale moon's subtle contribution to the changing view, and the windy whispers coming from the currents racing parallel to the seabed. I think he enjoys the paradox of calamity and calm, mishaps and happenstances. My friend Jason likes to buy special scented soaps and gives them to friends and family. I think it's because he's in love with godliness and spreading the faith. My friend Jason is a prolific poet. We share our structured thoughts across electronic and optical superhighways and only stop during rest stops along the way. During those moments, I drink Argentinian Malbec, though Jason prefers to drink IPAs from the local breweries near my place. When we sit on high tables, we notice undertones of background settings. We speak of the stage, not the actors. My friend Jason likes to see me smile. He sets aside time, Mayan artifacts, and compliments. Black guitars, bookends, red elixir, chocolate taffy, and words. So many enriching words. My friend Jason is sweet, even though he reluctantly accepts that label, even though he thinks of it as a dismissive trait, one that might typecast his existence into a singularity. But I know that he reserves this color, emission for a limited few. My friend Jason is part of my spectrum. We share bonds over bites, poetry through space, glances across rooms, knowing smirks. He sees me and I see him. He is my friend Jason. Thank you. So we're gonna start it off. So Oliver, I'm so excited to hear you. So, oh, is he not here yet? Oliver, is Oliver in the house? Not quite yet? All right, well, we'll make room for him when he comes, whenever he makes his way over here. He'll definitely come and share some of his words with you. Heidel. Do we have a Heidel here yet? Heidel, so you're up. Can't wait to see what you do. All right.
Hello, hello. I have for you guys a short story. A client I have is an older woman, somewhere in her 60s. We'll call her Maria. She's obese, lives alone in a retirement apartment complex, and needs frequent tending to because she's limited by her range of motion due to her weight and her age. About a month or two ago, she invited me over for some mole. I obliged, came over, she microwaved the mole she made, and I sat behind her at a tiny kitchen table to eat while she watched TV and made small talk with me. When I finished, I washed my dish and sat by the wall to her right to watch TV with her and continue talking. She asked me if I had a girlfriend yet, to which I replied no, and to which she replied with, "You should meet my daughter. She's an angel. I'll show her to you. Send a message to her on Facebook. She's a lawyer." She dug through her phone and pulled out a pixelated screenshot of her daughter. "She's beautiful, isn't she?" Then she started to weep. She cried and grieved how it had been 17 years since she had last seen her son and her daughter. "They want nothing to do with me. My ex-husband manipulated them into believing that I ruined everything, that I was in the wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I love them so much." After explaining some more details, she told me, "Before I die, I just want to see my children one more time. They're so angry with me and have told me to never talk to them again, but that is my dying wish." At the end of that conversation, she asked me if I could help send a bouquet of flowers to the law firm her daughter works at. I obliged, found a flower sending company, and made the order a few days later. A week later, I received an email saying that they were delivered. Maria called me and asked if I could verify that they were received by her daughter. So, I called the law firm and talked to a lady at the front desk. After asking around, she confirms that the daughter indeed received the flowers, but relays to me that she doesn't want me or her mom to contact her again. A few days later, Maria sends me a picture of a handwritten letter she received in the mail. The letter reads, "Thank you for the flowers, although they are not necessary. I'd like to please ask you to never contact me at my job anymore. It seems disrespectful, and I never gave you my work phone number, so I ask you to never communicate with me ever again. Thank you. With respect, your daughter."
Awesome, Jairo. Kind of reminded me of all the times growing up, my mom trying to set me up with people I didn't like. Thank you for that memory. And also, right, how sometimes we make mistakes in our life and we try to make it a little bit better, and sometimes even a handwritten note, even it doesn't say what you wanted to say, but it still shows that care and that acknowledgement of, I'm still your daughter. So that was beautiful. Great job. So the next one that I'm going to introduce is Emcee, but before I do, I'm going to read one of my poems called Obsidian, and it's about I wrote it after my divorce. And her song is called Traitor, so. So I hope you guys enjoy her. So this is called Poetic Obsidian. Pulsating, ulcerine bubbled from the mouth of your gushing, deadly vent, eventually erupting over my lush valleys, mercilessly burning the green tree hills, running rampant until finally settling into a river's bed. You would think that all that would be left is volcanic ash, dust, and uninhabitable land, but no. Obsidian was created after your destructive toll. The edges sharp enough to be used as a deadly tool, yet malleable enough to be chiseled into a shimmering raisin black stone. Smooth, breathtaking prose that will complement the fluid crimson ink spilling on this new blank sheet. Regardless of the devastation you left behind, poetic obsidian was created. Since I treat poems as I do past lovers, as dwelt upon interpretations that become secondary, as painful experiences that can be reframed, chipped like obsidian. A poem to be written by the long strides of the spewing pen, giving meaning to time spent. Felsic, plasmic passions bubbled at the surface of the tip, to only become placid at the release of gases, expansions of syllables promoted to words, chords of residual natural selective discourses, designation of sodium, potassium, oxygen tracing, nitrogen tracing, as I'm facing the metaphoric cremation of a life I knew before. And though I was predisposed to your vindictive form, I never really expected to be burned. I should have known. But regardless, I am still Mother Earth, painstakingly transformed, punctured by the fusion of atoms, merging to a new state, forming molecules, freezing movements, breaking symmetries, and the end result is still beautiful. I am still beautiful. Thanks. Now, Emcee, this lovely young girl, is gonna perform a cover called Traitor from Olivia Rodriguez, right? Rodrigo. Close enough. I don't want to age myself. All right, so let me fix it. Let me do it downstairs. Do you want to stand up? You should sit down right here, and that way you can get your voice and your guitar.
I'm just gonna do this one and just walk off stage. Brown guilty eyes and little white lies. Yeah, I played dumb, but I always knew that you'd talk to her, maybe did even worse. I kept quiet so I can keep you. And ain't it funny how you were into her the second that we called it quits? And ain't it funny how you said
some feelings. Let's see if this is on. All right. Well, thank you, Emcee. That was beautiful. I really love the way you just embodied that song. So I know that there were some people that were supposed to go. I'm not sure if they kind of showed up last minute. Is Oliver here? No? Okay. Arcalio? Oh, okay. Presente, maestra.
Buenas noches, raza. How's everybody doing? Good? You guys ready for Christmas? Maybe this poem will inspire you. This is a Christmas poem called El Niñito Dios. Anybody ever hear of him? El Niñito Dios? Sorale. El Niñito Dios and reruns of Marcelino Pan y Vino were my childhood versions of Santa Claus and A Christmas Story the night before. Pricey store-bought presents were replaced with rich, heartfelt laughter. Warm abrazos of tias y tíos, primas y primos, mama and papa, huddled around the enormous olla, offering husk-wrapped gifts of homemade tamales de puerco, pollo y rajas con queso. Pan dulce for dessert, café de olla y champurrado, with the intoxicating sweet scent and enticing sabor de canela. At midnight, all cluster shoulder to shoulder around the nacimiento as baby Jesus is placed comfortably into his cradle, and we celebrate the genuine meaning of Christmas. This next piece is called Ban the Book Banners. Like a nonfiction version of Bradbury's 1953 novel, banning books from libraries in 22 is a haunting reality that demands Texas Abbott and advocates be pummeled with the same titles that they've capriciously forbidden for themes they do not like. People of color, book slap on the face, LGBTQ, smack on the chest, sexual content, blow to the groin, race and racism, wallop to the gut, rights and activism, thump on the head, biography, autobiography, memoir, swat to the butt, religious minorities, book spine, whack to the knees, forcing them to kneel, and then a strike with the heaviest of unabridged Bibles, since, of course, Jesus Christ was an olive-skinned man, whose narrative was revolutionary, whose words and deeds should make white supremacists and their children uncomfortable, and right-wing faux Christians recoil from his ministerings to the poor and the outcasts, and critique of the wealthy. The weight of thousands of pages bound in hardback, covered in dark vintage leather, striking head, chest, and gut, rendering these unconscionable excuses for humans worthless, undeserving beggars for mercy who themselves merit banning.
Man, I'm smelling those tacos. Smell pretty bomb. If you guys want to eat, don't forget there's some tacos out there. There's also some brews. So if you guys want to hydrate a little bit during the show, we want to thank Brewjeria for having us, and that's how you guys get to hear such amazing poets and writers. All right, so if you're interested in signing up, this is going to be going around. Please, don't be shy. Share your thoughts, your ideas, your art. So before I go on to Emcee, would you like to do another song for us? Oh, me? Oh. Okay. Who? Oh, you're, oh. Hey, okay, so if you're willing to, you have a pretty good story, you should probably read to us. All right, he's thinking about it. I'm putting my son on the spot. That's my son right there. You should. You're a very talented writer. All right, so I don't know what to call this. It's unnamed, but I'll call it scars. I can't do anything but hide my scars. Dress my pain by wearing beautiful dresses. The crisscross colorful patterns divert the eyes of those who see me. They focus on the fabric and not my pensive, melancholic eyes. They're hypnotized by the way the fabric sways as I step, right to left, right to left. My legs coming forward one after the next. I keep my voice low, flirtatious and alluring, so they can give to my selfish directives, entice them to adhere to my discretionary needs. They think of me as the unseen constellations above, only visible through the darkness. They think that since I whisper to them that I am a good listener, that I am letting them in, but I'm not. I have learned to play the game of longing, belonging, dislodging. I have learned to look into their eyes in the morning, make them feel like they're more, but as soon as I feel myself getting closer, I pack my feelings in a knapsack and leave, back to the barracks of my mind, though the war has long been over. During that time, I developed the skills of provocation, disassociation, dehumanization, dislocation. I have learned to cover my tracks, but I always leave a trail along the road. I guess I'm a soldier of love at heart. I want to be found, scars and all. I lie about my disconnectedness to seem strong, curl my eyelashes so I won't curl into my true self, paint my nails in bright purple and red pigments to distract them from what my hands have done, fragrant my skin with flower scents to suppress the stench of doubt. I don't need anyone's expectations pressing. Gravity is the attractive force that keeps me together. Dark energy between my atoms bind my consciousness like heat to the flesh, like flesh to the soul, like soul to the spirit, like spirit back to the flesh, and I feel so empty. I feel like the space in between the scar tissue and the wound. I feel like the word shattered. The internal fault lines have shifted, and I have fragmented many times over. Dispersed cracks, the screen of my being shattered. Yeah, I feel like the word shattered. The clear plastic silt barely visible, keeping me together. Thanks. And now Emcee is going to be performing I Wish You the Worst. So, such a positive title, I love it. Come on, mija.
Told my friends how you would always treat me oh so good, how you'd always do everything that you ever could. Are you happy now that I look so pathetic? Are you happy you're with her, yeah? Are you lovesick? The thing between you and her you swore you never knew of, and how come right when we broke you think I've heard enough of all the stories from you? Yeah, I wish you the worst. Hope you never find love in your 100 other girls, 'cause I gave my all and you still want more. Yeah, I hope that for you it's always so much worse. I wish you the worst. Thinking all about how I would hurt you back when you promised you'd stay, then broke it off and let it end. I was in at that infamous New Year's party, but I knew she was there always in your head. She's number one, know what you told me, but you always knew that I'd end up being just another girl to you. Said you didn't kiss her, but I know that you wanted to. Yeah, I wish you the worst. Hope you never find love in your 100 other girls, 'cause I gave my all and you still want more. Yeah, I hope that for you it's always so much worse. I wish you the worst. Wish that you never find somebody better. Wish that you never find happy ever after. Wish I could hurt you back just a bit harder. Wish you could hurt and never get better. Wish I could leave you unread with no remorse. Wishing that you'd be crying behind your doors. Wish you could feel what I feel but more. Oh, I wish you the worst. I wish you the worst.
Thank you, Emcee. That was beautiful. And dark and toxic. No kidding. I love that song. All right, so I'm going to read another one of my poems. And if you guys, feel the need to want to share, even if you want to share again, make sure to come up to this mic. This mic is a free space, a space where you can really kind of let go and let loose and share your truth. So I'm gonna, as you guys could probably tell by my poetry, I'm a math teacher, so I incorporate a lot of like math and science into my poetry. And of course I wrote an ode to the Fibonacci sequence, because why not, right? Math's amazing. So this is called an ode to the Fibonacci sequence. I write this for you. Wonderful digits of 0, 1, 1 again, 2, 3, 5, and 8, 13, 21, 34, and so on, and forth toward the reflective and eternal expansive properties of life. 0, the possibility of paths. 1, to be redefined. 1, the seedling of being. 2, as the foundation. 3, the birth of a pattern. 5, the pentacle of power. 8, the contradiction of a finite eternity. You create gorgeous, ponderous magic gaps as you playfully approach God's favorite limit, one ratio at a time. I'm gratefully blinded by the golden asymptotic light of your fiery glory, The blueprints of the gift of life find themselves on my lap, enticing me. Another architect caught by the sight of your perfect plan swag. You, oh glorious Fibonacci code. I yearn for an intellectual discourse without that morning after remorse of not having known you enough to justify the allowance of you entering my innermost foundational blocks of consciousness. But I'll allow your intrusive sweetness. I'll rejoice in the vibrations provided by your deep tone, a protruding voice, allowing the range of your erector constant to gently rub against the inner walls of my ear canals, the cochlea mirroring your moans and grunts, the outer muscles contracted, perked, excited to hear more. You send messages to my slightly swollen pink brain, climaxing when I willingly accept the repeated input of your amplitude. The elongated numerical sequence you utilize to reproduce is breathtaking. I write this to you, the sequence that echoes God's voice. You are dispersed seeds of the forbidden fruit. You are the leaf arrangement of the burning bush of faith. You are the spatial range of the nautilus. You are the lover that keeps offering knowledge from the forbidden tree. Thanks, Dad. That was my ode to the Fibonacci sequence. So, no, you don't want to go? All right, I'm going to bring up my best friend. No, you're not going to share. Okay, I'll play my song. I'm not a musician per se, so I'll play it just so you can play your song. All right, so you want to go first? All right, so I'll play my song. Okay, we'll see if I remember the lyrics. It's been a while. All right, I guess I'll just play that. Is there anybody that wants to come in here and save me from me embarrassing myself? Is there anybody who wants to share their poetry, their stories? Huh? Is Oliver here? Saved by the Bell. Where's Oliver? Yes, Oliver. I love it. Hello.
Who wrote my name down? My God. I'm Oliver. Jesus Christ, it's cold. I think it's cold. All right. This first piece I wrote in September. No intro? Question mark? All right. Like twilight, only she says it's hard to read me, and I feel my body is a fortress. Or worse, a prison my bluebird can't fly out from. She's nervous. I'm nervous. What's on your mind, she asks. And it hurts to think I can think, but don't, letting the question ricochet off the undersides of my cement skin. Cracks begin to show, frightening me, and I wonder, is my bluebird sentence complete? That was it. I wrote these in free verse-ish. One of them is I stopped giving a fuck-ish verse. I got 3 in total. That was the first one. This one was in November, wow, of this year. Be the girl he thinks of years later is a tweet I read once and never forgot, because the memories we share amounts to the phantasm that walked back into my mind. Its hand of soft silk sweeps across my eyes and keeps me blind to its hidden agenda. My body's gone limp under the cruel joke of what could have been, and I can't find the strength in what should have been to stand tall. Even now, years later, you laugh innocently by his side at, what again? Who? I sit sometimes and flip back my journal pages like my own personal DeLorean to when I can read how beautiful we once were. I guess the cruel joke is you live immortal in my words, like the thing that walked back into my mind from time to time and keeps me blind. That was the second one, Untitled. I can't do that one. It's nasty. It's nasty. I have a bunch more that I could say. Wait, let me. No, it's actually incriminating. I'll do this one. All right. This one I actually wrote today. It's called "This Machine Provides Therapy." That one actually has a title. For reasons I won't get into, I bought a 3 times genuine Louisville Slugger from the Big Five over yonder. The cashier didn't deal in U.S. currency, but in the universal time frame. And at that time, the down payment was my incriminating silence. By this time, half my long-awaited fantasy had turned into the dream coming true. The other half of my dream I still had to abduct off some street corner. What I was searching for were the many months and years of this pent-up anger I so violently wanted to murder until it was dead. And just down the street there it was, a red vacuum, where in its clear plastic chamber my aggression I could see laughed at me. I picked his glutinous fat ass off the curb and tossed him down the trunk of my car. I tapped my nail on the barrel of my 3 times genuine Louisville Slugger all the way down to the riverbed. Tap, tap, tapped it underneath the train tracks, where I wound that motherfucker up over my head and dropped it over aggression's sorry-ass teeth. God, it was beautiful. Shards of his plastic body that pent up so much of what I had harbored over the course of my life flew across my eyes, and I smiled. God, it was really, really beautiful, and I really, really wish you were there to see it. The final payment of what that Louisville Slugger was, my sobbing, that ravaged me at home in the end. I don't remember the last time I cried, being a man in this world, but now I can say that I can. And that was it. All right, thank you. My name's Oliver. That's it.
Thank you, Oliver, for sharing your poetry. I like it, short and sweet and deep. I'm gonna read a poem instead of doing my song. So, I don't know, I guess I could do all right, no, that's too long. I'll do a short one. It's called Shallow, not named after the song. All right, I'm the best type of shallow. My paperweight words hold no weight. Too cautious to be real. Too thought out to be truthful. Appearing to be complex and pretty, but they're quite shallow, as I am. But I am the best type of shallow. The type that sees where you're at and lets you roam free within me. The kind you can splash in without feeling the fear of drowning. The kind to learn in. The type of shallow that welcomes doggy paddles and erratic strokes without judgment. The kind to wet your toes, knees, and thighs, but not your chest cavity. Never your heart. Never your head. Not with me, because in a way, I am the worst type of shallow, the type that offers slippery footing on solid ground, the kind that finds satisfaction at your longing, the kind who carelessly and freely gives away wet kisses, a public pool of sorts, the kind that finds solitude at my water staying still, the kind that gives you false confidence and encourages you through calm waters to venture into the deepest of my shallow, only to slip and swallow the shallow and gargle this over-chlorinated water out of your nostrils into your lungs, making it impossible to breathe. And after all of this, I will only feel remorse at your accidental drowning, because I'll no longer have the movement that caused my movement. You're still So I'm still to steal the peace of those who choose to venture to the deepest of my shallow again. Thanks, that's it. All right. Emcee, what's the next song you're gonna do? What's the name of it? Our Past? Oh, okay, so Emcee is gonna sing one of her original songs called Our Past. I'm one of her biggest fans. Has nothing to do with the fact that she's dating my son. She's just really fantastic. Yeah, you got it. No? Yes, a milagro? All right, all right. All right, so I'm going to read one, and hopefully someone, les da ánimo to come up here and share. If you guys want to share again, if you've already come up here and you want to read another one of your works, please just, raise your hand, let me know. Okay, I'll read something I wrote for my daughter. I have an 8-year-old, but I wrote this when she was in diapers. And let's see, okay. This is called Mama's Bed. So we're kind of like in a weird situation where, between the households, and some nights she will lay next to me, other nights she wouldn't. So it was one of those nights that she did. She lays to my left on Mama's bed, her arms and legs hanging like a banana bundle, her plump baby stomach bulging between her Mickey Mouse diaper and the bottom of her pink bunny shirt. Her small, pudgy hand lazily lays at her side, over the edge of the bed. I find it and cup it inside my clammy cold hand, caress her outer thumb with my thumb, follow the few lines inside her palm with my index finger. Big-eyed girl. Her perfectly smooth eyelids close over her rounded eyes, cappuccino brown cornea hidden like an egg white pearl inside a seashell. Small, full lips, orange-red mountains overlapped like the contours of a ripened peach. They open and close to complement surrounding life bursting around her slight smile. Her skin soft as bristles of a sunflower's mouth in the scorching morning sun. Her skin slightly moist from the typical night sweat. I can smell the milk that has bittered inside the cave of her mouth, like milk that has been left out for too long, forgotten on the kitchen counter, where a thin yellow skin forms on the top layer. It's a sweet, pungent scent, and I don't care. I love how she smells. She intoxicates the air with her bittersweet swirls, her respiration making my purpose clear as blue skies after a tumultuous storm, as bright as the sun clearing clouds of doubt. I breathe in her essence, and I'm entranced by her magnificence. She forms her own prehistoric cave art. Her white-stained tongue provides the story of nourishment. The milk follows the tiny valleys of her tongue, up the walls of her cheek. She is the priestess, and I am the believer. She is the prophet, and I have faith. She lays to my left on Mama's bed, and all I can do is follow the currents of her sleeping mood. Her baby mouth slightly open as she breathes in and out. Her chest rising and falling like tides in the Pacific during a humid summer evening. Just as I start to feel the sand on my toes, she shifts into a new stance that breaks the hypnotism of her chest waves crashing on foreign shores of Mama's bed. I stand up, bend down, scoop her up, and lay her horizontally in my arms. She is the sun setting over a rowing boat gently rocking, and I am Mother Earth. We paddled through a still lake during a serene spring day, awakening together. So that was for my baby girl, Natalia. I wrote that a long time ago. So she was maybe like 1 or 2, so that was about 6 years ago that I wrote that. All right, so is there anybody who wants to come up here and break it? And break this little, like, just me reading my stuff? No. Do you mind if I read your stuff, though? You do mind if I read your stuff? Okay, I will read your stuff. It's so good. All right. So I'm going to read another poem, and then I'm going to see who else wants to share. Maybe if they want to share something. Where's Oliver at? Do you want to come again, dude? You do? Oh, awesome. Come up here. Oh, will you? I love it. Okay.
The DEA will be after me for this one. But I'll do another one. So I have 2 limericks. Yeah. No titles for these. If bees rubbing flowers permits honey to be made, then commit. But if ghosting's your game, please don't change your name. Own up to the gall, it's the truth after all, that you're just a fly eating shit. Forward, don't do drugs. Was drunk at the bar when it rained, so driving slick roads was insane. Wondered, what could I do, 'cause the world said, fuck you. The bathroom called over, I came out sober. Thank God for amazing cocaine. All right, that's all I got for now.
All right, life lesson, kids. All right, awesome. Your poem inspired another poem called Honey. So yeah, let's keep it going. Let's see what connects, right? Honey. Honey as dark and rich as the deepest oil well drips out. As sweet as the juice of sweating berries on the face of vices, dripping, covering virtues, manipulating facades, jading the principality of honey. The pleasure that coincides with honey and I is not that of the absence of pain, or the absence of anxiety, or the absence of uproar. It is quite the opposite of Epicurean thought, because the sugar makes me unstill, makes me want more, such that I will never have enough. I still have the fear of loss that leads to my own fear of want. You are the honey that taunts my lips, spreads over my toasted thighs, melts unto my tempered flesh, and I need more. More, less is more. No, I don't believe so. Your jar of honey is at constant demand, like transported oil, like soil, like sags when I happen to have honey oil. But I still have the fear of loss that leads to my own fear of want. You are the honey after its fall, after its strip, after the destruction of what's underneath, after the loss, after I figured out that honey ain't good for my health. You are the honey of distilled grapes, beehives transformed to barrels, kept underground, and I want more. I always want more. That poem is about actually alcoholism. So, you know the I always want more type, but still that's besides the point. But thanks, does anybody else want to share? Suhe? Is Max on his way to perform? You don't know? All right. So we're gonna keep it open for a little bit longer. And Emcee, do you wanna play another song? Or you weren't ready for a fourth one, huh? Yeah? Should we? Does anybody want to share, Matt? No? Come on, dude. All right, so I'm going to, I guess I could perform my song if you perform your song. Yeah? Let's do it. I am not a good singer, just putting that out there. Listen for the lyrics. Do not listen for the sound. So I just play the song. I wrote it a couple years ago. And yeah, we'll see how it comes out. Let's see. Okay, we'll see. I don't think the song has a name, actually. So we'll see how it goes. The sky no longer holds my eyes. I wonder why I'm sitting in this chair. Nowhere to go but the shelter of the bars. My guitar reflects the dim lights from above. While I wallow at the absence of you. And it's not cool that you're gone, you're still here. Your memory lingers still. Though you're gone, I'm still stuck. You've probably moved on, but I'm still here. You made me happy. You made me want longer holds my eyes and my whispers, 'cause I miss you and after all this time I remember every corner of your place, every angle of your face, even your fucking taste. Though you're gone, you're still here. Your memory lingers still. Though you're gone, I'm still stuck. You've probably moved on, but I'm still here. You made me happy. You made me want. You made me happy. And that's saying a lot, a lot, a lot. That was my song. I wrote that when I was in high school, I think, or something, I don't know. I wrote it a very long time ago. Barely finished it though. So now, 'cause you promised, she's gonna be playing an original song. Her and I have been best friends since we were 12 years old. So, over 25 years, huh? It's been a minute.
All right, I wasn't expecting to do this today. I wrote this in college, I believe, many years ago. It doesn't have a title. I was going through a breakup, and this came out. All right. Baby, I'm so sad. You're no good for me. You lied. You fought. You kissed. You hurt. You made me believe in something so real. But honey, it wasn't real. Don't want you, don't need you, don't want you or need you anymore, anymore. You lied to me. How can you lie to me? You said you loved me. You don't love me. You never did. Baby, now I just sit here smoking my special cigar and writing the sad song, thinking of you and all the moments we shared. It's hard to believe that you're no longer with me. How could you give up on us when you said that I was the one? You even lied about that, taking part of my heart. And I forgot the rest of the lyrics, I'm sorry. I'm like so freaking nervous. I'll just end it.
I like this. It's comfortable sitting down like this. Guys, don't forget to get some brews over there at the. Okay, I always forget which one it is. There we go. So do you want to come up and read another one of your poems or stories? Come on. No. Awesome, awesome. Arcalio, right? Arcalio's coming up.
You're so inspiring. How can I resist? So my name is Arcadio, and I'm one of Mejia's former students. And so he's inspired all the creativity that I have or don't have. So blame him if it works or doesn't work. This is called La Plática. This is my Nina and my mother together, you know, sharing what they do best. After dinner and dishes, Mama and Tia steal a moment of rest at the kitchen table and sipping their cafecito began recalling memories forged long ago. Looks of curiosity and disbelief exchanged, but not a word uttered, lest Mama shoo us away with her stern stare that says, children must listen and not be heard when adults are talking. No sean irrespetables. Engrossing plots, our relatives crossing borders safely, punctuated with a sign of the cross, and gracias a Dios. A friend's newfound love in a new country, acknowledged with les tocó suerte. And other parientes having born a child, a U.S. citizen, praised with a que Dios les dé más. Of a cousin swept up in a migra raid, inducing a compassionate pobrecito. Of a neighbor's child going to college, prompting a que Dios la bendiga. Of a tia passing away de cáncer, prodding the refrain, que en paz descanse. Of a trip to Mexico with a newly minted green card, meriting another gracias a Dios and a sign of the cross. Masterful storytellers, these two hermanas, telling tales of birth and death and life in between, with characters we recognized from their stories but have never seen.
Hi everyone. Again, my name is Julia Gaytan, and I've been the MC this whole night. I hope you guys are having a good time. Are you enjoying the poetry so far and the music? Awesome. And the stories, right? So I'll read this poem that I wrote. It's called What's in a Name, and it's pretty much just about how as Latinos we have like a lot of different cultures, a lot of different ethnicities and races mixed because of the story of, colonialism, and just how, time changes the interrelations we hold with one another. So it's called What's in a Name. What's in a name? Rolling my tongue to enunciate your R's. My mouth always left slightly open in the shape of an O. At the end of pronouncing your mother-given name. What's in a name? But a history transfixed by imposed consonants and accented hues, assimilated frameworks, sacred myths, exaggerated truths. Mandatory European Spanish spoken then, though now a mere 5 centuries later, I thoroughly enjoy hearing you refer to my ma as señora and address her with usted. It makes me nostalgic. Reminds me of eating pan dulce and leche before bedtime, before my mom's 8 p.m. telenovela on Univision. I would sway side to side during commercials. My brothers and sisters would call me coqueta and traviesa, just as you do now, with a wide smile and sharp chin. Your brow as furry as my father's, your perspective as keen as my mother's, your name as Latin sounding as my own. You own it. It's the underlining the curvature of culture. You understand the importance of having your woman's back, repping your girl, providing for the home, being a strong man, and yet softening to my playful whims. You grasp the knack of my neck as I ride on horseback like the Spanish conquistadores that plundered our native lands. Plans gone astray. We are the gray, the indigenous, the white Spaniard mixed, the mestizo. We are the dark brown, the enslaved African European colonizer and the subjugated Mesoamerican merged, the mulatto. We are the forced encounters, the resilient, the proud. We rise like Huitzilopochtli. After I come, you come. Like erected Aztec temples that fell, like our forgotten tongues buried under the rubble, tragically covered by beautiful Catholic missions. We toss and churn what was there, and now I am below. After missionary lovemaking, you bury your face into my hair. Your castaño hair roughly prickles my pale freckled cheek. Like stars illuminating Tezcatlipoca's nocturnal skies, they become a part of my rostro. Perhaps that's what's in a name. The continuity of living, giving, and taking, merging and pushing away, warring and loving, staying and leaving, coming and releasing, acknowledging the circumstantial prickles, the ones that enhance one's sky. Okay, thanks. That's the end of that poem. And I'm gonna call up the next one, which is Max. Max, what are you gonna be performing? One of your originals or a cover? A cover? All right, so we're gonna have Max up here and he's gonna be covering a song, so hopefully you guys get to enjoy it. And during this break, if you guys have, are running low on booze, go to the bar, help them out a little bit because they're offering this lovely space for us to be able to share our art. Come on over, my dear.
I'm just gonna play.
much. You're getting down on that guitar. Awesome. How beautiful that we get to share, our talents here, and we get to share our soul through our words and through our music. The next person up is going to be Sebastian. He's going to be reading an excerpt of his story. So, come on. All right, let's welcome Sebastian. Destroying the place.
So, since my mom insisted, I'll be reading this story from 8th grade. Just a small part of it. Okay. I woke from my bare mattress and groggily peeked through the dusty curtains. This week I was located in a Los Angeles 2-story apartment outside. Wasn't the most pleasant stay I've seen, that's for sure. Stained carpet, roaches everywhere, and a pungent smell of sewage, possibly. As if the blaring alarm clock wasn't enough to ruin my day. It was utterly disheartening. This is only temporary. As soon as I finish the job, I'm out of the stump, I muttered to myself. I turned on the gas stove covered in rusts, broken. Like everything else that has happened so far. Guess I'll be eating granola bars for breakfast again. After my subpar excuse for breakfast was finished, I picked up the files I'd received from last night and the stories about a spy.
Thank you, Sebastian. I love that we're ending that way. So that was from one of his assignments, and he's such an excellent writer. All right, so thank you guys for joining us. It's about that time, and please buy some booze from Brewjeria. They make this available to us so we could be able to, partake in our art. So make sure to go over there, show some love with your money. And thanks. Join us next time. Please get on the Instagram to be able to see when it's our next show. Write something next time. Come and share your words. And thank you for having me. And I'm so glad that I got to share this space with you guys today.